Okay. Welcome, everybody. We are getting set to go. I am happy to see everyone here. It's just me. Hey, it's sad Nation's not here to start. We got 3 matches on the docket for today. We're going to have 2 separate streams. We're going to have this matchup, Middle Tennessee State versus UMass as our first one, and then we'll have Charlotte, Central Michigan, and then San Jose State and South Carolina later. There's just going to be a little bit of a break, and I'm by myself for this first one, so I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's doing great. We do have both teams in already, and I mean, you know what? We can do pregame during the game if we need to, but we are going to get everyone in. Welcome to CCS Season 5. We're here in the championships, round of 64. Only a few matches left, only really a handful. There's not much left before we, of course, move on to the round of 32 and beyond, but it looks like both teams are ready, so we are going to head down to the field. Without further ado, Middle Tennessee State, the 7 seed in the Midwest, going up against UMass, the Minutemen, the 10 seed out of the Midwest. Both these teams in their first CCS Championships appearance, and only one will be able to get a win under their belt to open things up, but we'll have to see who that is. Again, it's good to see everyone. This match is a very interesting one. Obviously, the 7-10 matches have been really fun to watch, but Lacine Bronny will open things up here in game number 1 for the Minutemen. Max, a good pass across, and a nice little crossbar double opens things up well for UMass. I'm excited to see, of course, how this matchup falls. It was very split, being a solid 7-10 matchup. Logan shot cut down early by Max from UMA, but yeah, both these teams in their first in their first CCS tournament showings, and it's really intriguing to see how this one will go. Obviously, UMass playing in the MAC, one of the toughest conferences, in my opinion. I mean, at least having 2 absolute juggernauts, as this one will fall through for Logan. His next opportunity will go good, so 1-1 to open things up, but Middle Tennessee State have captured a lot of attention here in CCS, mostly because they took down Florida International, who was the reigning champ for Conference USA for 2 consecutive seasons, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, this is the team that took them down, as they're going to take a 2-1 lead. Logan off the ceiling gets a clean open look for a flash, and he'll take control of that one. But yeah, Middle Tennessee State, again, they've amassed a lot of attention here in CCS, being able to take down that really strong FIU team, make it to the tournament for their first time. But the other thing to note is, if you don't know, this Middle Tennessee State roster, these guys are all freshmen. This is an extremely young roster, and that is why there is even more attention on them, because they've already shown up and shown out in their, first season of CCS together, and, it really shows what this team can be. Being the starting mark, defeating a team who has never been defeated in Conference USA tournament play, that's huge. So there is a lot of potential for this MTSU team. I think a lot of the analysts at CCS, a lot of the fans are expecting big things for them as time goes on, but ultimately we will have to see. They are showing up well here in the tournament. 2 start. Need to be careful of this attack. Bronny misses wide. Vince fires it far side. Max caught out. Flash rushing down to the corner. Miss here. Will be sent back out to the midfield and cleared away. Logan should be back in time. That he is. But yeah, this is my first time seeing UMass play, and I'm really excited to actually see the Minutemen compete. Obviously, we already talked about how they play in the tough conference of the MAC, having to go against teams like Akron, Ball State, Bowling Green, and those aren't easy teams. And this UMass team, they came out of conference play 6-2. I mean, they started off hot, taking down Eastern Michigan, Northern Illinois, and then took down Bowling Green, that's a pretty big victory in the MAC. Then they took down Toledo. They started off conference play 4-0. Then they suffered their first loss to Central Michigan as Puggets will even the score. Just a clean, add on one more. As he just takes that one clean over 2 defenders. As, again, you are seeing the full reign of this MTSU team. But UMass, again, they started off 4-0, suffered their first loss to Central Michigan, then went down to Ball State in a sweep. That's obviously a very tough matchup in the Cardinals. And then ended up taking down Kent State and Miami. But again, this is a very solid UMass team. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table in the tournament. But, you know, it's not easy going against a team like Middle Tennessee State, who are obviously, you know, they're coming up hot. They got a lot of momentum moving forward. We've seen what they've been able to do. Of course, they got the hype as well, and this is a program that a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on going into CCS Season 6, Season 7. I mean, there's a lot to be said on what this team can do, and I, for one, am just really excited to see what they're going to be able to do in future. I mean, they've already done a ton here in Season 5, and would expect nothing but better things for them moving forward. But about 80 seconds left to go here in game number 1, and it has been solidly controlled by Middle Tennessee State. UMass got one, but since then they've been a little bit quiet on the offensive side. This one's skied by Logan. Flash and Puckett's both on it. Will pinch it forward. Logan is there. Shot is high. Vince makes sure of it. Flash will secure it up through the midfield again, just kind of trying to take a little bit of time off the clock for the Blue Raiders. Flash up to it. Into the ceiling it goes from Max. Vince will boom it upfield, but only momentarily, as Logan will just send it right back. No double here from Max. Flash just trying to escape. Run out the rest of this clock. Logan snaps into the backboard. Might have a shot look here. That he does. Logan adds on another for Middle Tennessee State in this game 1. It's all wrapped up and tied in a bow for the Blue Raiders. Such a tough shot, but he makes it look so simple, having low boost, having to beat out a defender towards the corner and then still finding the angle with enough power. Beautifully done by Logan. But again, UMass just falling a little bit silent after getting that first goal, and ultimately Middle Tennessee State, you know, it took up a second to really heat up, but after that one very short moment, they are immediately back in dominant fashion, and this game 1 will be a clean victory for them. Now we'll see if they can keep it up. Obviously, this being a best of 7, still going to give the Minutemen of Massachusetts a lot of opportunities, but Flash adds on one more, because why not? It's 5-1 in game 1 for MTSU, and this team looks exceedingly dangerous. Again, the Conference USA Tournament champions, and you are seeing the full version of why Logan, well-deserved MVP. 2 goals, 2 assists, and putting on 2 saves as well. Flash right there beside him. Puckett still doing some solid work on the offensive end, and you can see not huge differences in the shot counts. 11-7, obviously that little bit difference. I mean, that's only a 4 shot difference, but Middle Tennessee State being very efficient with their shooting so far, just shooting just under 50%. But on to game 2 we go. Middle Tennessee State, we'll see if they can keep up this violent momentum in UMass. Ultimately just looking to slow them down. Winner of this one will most likely play the 2 seed of Ball State Black. That is actually one of the only round of 64 matches that haven't happened yet. So for those of you who don't know, round of 64 was technically, you know, the past week, so last week, but there are always going to be some scheduling issues, and some matches don't happen in time, and so there's actually 6 matches that are still left to be played, as Logan again getting the offense started for the Blue Raiders, wasting no time on the counterattack, and ultimately just a massive overextension from UMass. But again, most of the matches were played last week. In fact, 26 out of the 32, but that still leaves 6 left. So we actually have 3 tonight and 3 tomorrow night, and that will be it for the round of 64. Of course, the CCS Season 5 championships will return on Friday of this week with the round of 32 and beyond. That'll be a really, really fun one to see for sure, as it will be put in by Lacide Bronny. Getting another one here. Got a good pass from Vince, really just breaking things down, and took advantage there. And I'm a little bit, I will admit, I'm a little bit confused on who Lacide Bronny is. I'm wondering if it, because Max and Vince, I know they're starting, I believe that is illegally Grant, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I think yeah. Usually when on the mainstream, the players are asked to change their names to match up with their regular submitted names. Obviously, when you have Steam, you can switch those names around a little more. Flash looking for a big dunk there will be sent away. But truth be told, I don't believe I hold that kind of authority. So we're just it's just gonna be Lacide Bronny for tonight, and it's either, I believe that's either illegally Grant most likely, or Rusty, or I believe there's also a Dino on the roster. So who knows? Someone probably, but not me. Either way, game 2 continues moving forward. Over a minute and a half in, and Vince left flat-footed. Flash will get credited with goal number 2. Logan obviously taking that lead blocking role, and you can see Vince did not want to jump, and then by the time he wanted to go, it was already too late. So Middle Tennessee State right back into the lead, and UMass having to fight tooth and nail with this Blue Raiders offense early on, but Bronny dunks it on his head. UMass will tie it up here. Max rips it around the corner, and Logan just couldn't quite get behind it enough. Was a little bit to the right side of that ball, and Bronny cut off all angles there. So we'll see if momentum can persist for UMass. Here's a great passing play developing from Middle Tennessee State. It will be shut down, but you can see that offense trying to get right back into rotation. Don't love to stay on that defensive side. Offense is clearly where this team thrives. And Logan and Puggett's looking for an open look and an own goal here. Wait a minute. We're going to have to give this another look. I believe Max had the initial save. Let's look back. He didn't. Vince own goal. Oh, no. Vince came crashing in to help out. He ended up putting that one straight in. So Middle Tennessee State will get a bit of grace with that one. They pick up a third. Logan looking for a big bump here. He'll connect, but Puggett's didn't quite want to dive in on the play. Now a good 50 here from Vince on target. Bronny goes middle. Max can't put it on target. Are just seeing a couple missed touches here and there from UMass. Max trying to cut off possession here. Vince does the same, rolling into it. Gets a wave dash out, but Logan ready to deal. And now Vince picks up a big demo. Bronny low boost is blocked initially. Max gets around another. Vince might have a look. No, he's collapsed upon by Flash. He couldn't get back to another shot. Flash might have himself a double look, trying to reach it. No contact made. Stolen away by the Minutemen. 2 minutes left on the clock. It has been an absolute dogfight in game number 2. Middle Tennessee State, you know, they were able, moving into the latter half of game 1, took a lot of momentum and looked extremely threatening as Logan can't get much more threatening than that. A good double look just narrowly missed, and ultimately, we've seen Middle Tennessee State, they've, you know, stayed that one pace ahead, but maybe not as dominant as Flash. Will pick up a save through the demo smoke. Just been a great look to watch both these teams clashing, and it is, I already mentioned in game 1, this is my first time seeing UMass, and, you know, I had a lot of hopes watching this team, obviously, being able to compete in the MAC, get a 4 seed going into their conference tournament, be able to secure themselves a bid coming into this tournament. It's been good to see him compete. I believe they went in with the conference tournament. They went 7-3 in conference play and 3-1 in non-conference. So they were 10-4 overall coming into this tournament. 10-4 overall on Season 5, of course. We did see them play last season, but UMass really struggled last season. In fact, you know, there was 9 teams in the MAC last season, so 8 conference tournament slots, and UMass was the only team left out of the conference tournament. They went 1-7 in conference play, only 1 win on the docket for them, but obviously we have seen a very much improved UMass team here in CCS Season 5, as that team from Season 4 completely gone, and we have seen a much more competitive looking Minutemen roster, and they've shown it, obviously competing well in the MAC now, trying to get themselves going in the tournament, but Middle Tennessee State are brutal as brutal can be, as Logan spots another opening. Max just caught out there, could not find any sort of touch, and Logan will just roll it in from range. The Blue Raiders look to seal up game number 2. And they very well might. As this time expires, that will be it. So a job well done by Middle Tennessee State once again. And now they're up 2-0 in this series, and they're looking to make it a quick one. I know a lot of people picked Middle Tennessee State as the favorites, seeing their win over Florida International in the conference tournament. But a lot of people believed in UMass as a MAC team as well. You know, they come from a tough conference, arguably tougher than Conference USA, having the reigning champions of Akron Gold and Ball State Black competing. But this one was pretty split. I mean, it's a 7-10 matchup. Obviously, on paper, it's going to be pretty split. But, you know, it stayed close, but Middle Tennessee State have been that one step ahead, and I think that is what people expected going into it. But it's up to UMass to show their worth here and keep themselves in it. Flash already looking for an opening. Go Puggets is there, can't make contact. Logan will try and wrap around this one. Bumped off by Max. Flash dives in. Working that speed towards the corner. This one could be favorable. Look, no, Puggets will just boom it into the side while Max will get a skim to the far side. That'll end up helping MTSU. Flash can't really force his way through for much longer. Gets a nice late 50 there, as it will be played out. Another good 50 across. Puggets looking for a look. It will be boomed away by Brawny. Vince trying to go middle. He was searching for the demo on Flash. No good. Logan has himself a bit of time and space. Max pre-jumping reset over 1. He wants the bump, but Vince will steer it away safely. Puggets back up to the ceiling, but you can see the pressure that Middle Tennessee State is bringing here in game number 3, and really all series long they have just not seemed to step off the gas at any point. UMass, we've obviously seen them amount a few goals so far, but not enough consistently to match up with this Blue Raider offense, and that has been the name of the game. Haven't been able to kind of stay in tow, and maybe look here, Logan was a little bit worried about that redirect from Brawny. Hesitated, but still made the save. Puggets looking to shut this play down. Soft touch. Vince cuts it around him. Here's dribble through the corner. Stopped well by Flash. And again, you can just see the offense struggling for UMass to really break through consistently. And a good outspeed here from Logan. Vince, low boost, will have a soft touch towards the corner. Flash is on him. Just trying to rip away that possession time and time again. And Logan seemed to be the leader for this MTSU squad, at least on the pitch. Again, leading things in most categories. Puggets looking for a cutoff here. Brawny, high flick past 1, and approaching the midway part of this game so far, and no one been able to break through just yet. Middle Tennessee State have had the majority of the opportunities thus far, but UMass staying within the step for now. We'll see if the Minutemen can gather on offense. No, that's a huge mistake through the corner. And Flash says, thank you very much. It's 1-0 MTSU. Vince fully expected that ball to roll through the corner. Instead, you saw that sharper bounce, and it went right over his head. And Middle Tennessee State get themselves a 1-0 lead as we cross halftime here in game number 3. And ultimately, those are the kinds of mistakes you just can't make at this stage. UMass were doing so well in this game, shutting down Middle Tennessee State, but now the floodgates are open. Flash to Logan, wide open in the midfield. It's 2-0 Blue Raiders. Beautifully done, Flash being able to snap that one out of the defensive side quickly, and Logan, of course, having full faith in his teammate to get that pass to him. And again, by the way MTSU play, you would not expect this to be a full freshman roster. I mean, I've seen a lot of Rocket League, a lot of collegiate Rocket League, and these guys play with so much composure and chemistry that you would expect them to be seasoned veterans. But again, they're all freshmen at Middle Tennessee State, and there is a very, very high ceiling potential for this trio. Again, we're going to be watching this team closely throughout the season. Middle Tennessee State, you know, they didn't play last season, back in season 4. They took a step, didn't want to put a roster together, as Flash going to find number 3 here. Yeah, they stepped out of Conference USA last season, but they did play in season 3 for the first iteration of Conference USA. Middle Tennessee State, they went 1-7 was their conference record back in season 3, and obviously you have seen a completely different roster come through here in CCS season 5. I believe that roster back in season 3 was Cat Kid, Pyro, and Gununu, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the trio. Okay, Flash is a sophomore. I appreciate you, MJ. Okay. There we go. So Flash is a sophomore. That is good info to have. But regardless, all three still young players through this roster. Maybe another look here. Nope. Puckets and Logan will collide there. But ultimately 4-0 here in game number 3. That's a great save from Bronny, but can't keep out the Blue Raiders for too much longer. It's 5-0 MTSU, and UMass are going to most likely look towards an immaculate reverse sweep, because this game seems to be all said and done already, and the Minutemen will have to try and somehow will themselves back and take this series all the way to 7. But right now, that just seems so far out of reach, as Middle Tennessee State have really put up numbers. I mean, again, we have seen the full wrath of the offense from MTSU. And UMass, again, we're seeing a couple mistakes here and there, but ultimately not able to bring a ton to the table themselves. Logan, big redirect through the midfield, just off the upper 90 bar down. Flash looking to put another one away, no good. But at this point, Middle Tennessee State are just looking for extra credit, because they have done more than enough here in game number 3. But there's still one more before they move on to round number 2, as we're going to head to game 4 to see if the Blue Raiders can pick themselves up a sweep here in the round of 64. But at this pace, they are on a great track to do just that. And again, the winner of this one will play the winner of Ball State Black and Villanova on Friday. So we'll see who's going to be able to take it. But right now, Middle Tennessee State, they are gearing up for a dominant-looking sweep, and we'll see what UMass can do to try and protect. But look at the sheer difference in shot count here. My word, 18-2. That is the only category you need to look at. You can see UMass, they had themselves some good saves looks, but ultimately it is not enough to compete with that kind of offense. Middle Tennessee State in full control, and you can see Massachusetts taking a moment here between games 3 and 4, really trying to maybe settle down, using this full minute to their advantage, cool things off, and get back into it. But Middle Tennessee State, I mean, again, look clear and composed. Flash got himself a hattie, and obviously the sheer amount of offensive pressure. Logan being a great facilitator as always, and this offense from the Blue Raiders seems absolutely unstoppable through this third game. But Reverse sweeps often stem from nothing, so we'll see if UMass are going to be able to dig deep and get the job done here in Game 4. But only time will tell. That's a Minutemen joke for you. Either way, Game 4. I'm so sorry. Game 4 getting set to go. Middle Tennessee State hunting their first CCS championship victories, but UMass trying to keep their hopes alive. They'll score 2 seconds in, a huge kickoff to start things up, and UMass still well and in it. The question now is, can the Minutemen keep up that pace going forward? Need to, again, see their offense either really ramp up, or their defense has got to find a way to figure out Middle Tennessee State in this one. Demo from Puggets will slow things down. Logan sends it high, flashes on it. Vince chasing them down, and a very aggressive defensive look there for UMass. And, you know, it's one of those things that when a team is often facing elimination and they're kind of on that last game of the series, they're on their last life, that's sometimes when you see the best version of teams really show out, because they have, you know, they got to leave it all on the field. This is all UMass have left. Again, they lose this game, their season is over. So they got to leave it all out on the field, and sometimes that's where you see teams play their best. Brawny looking for a double, no good. Max's follow-up sent wide by Flash, but Vince pops it middle. No one going up early for the Minutemen. Again, we'll just take things back over at the midfield, get the offense going once again. We're seeing some good keep away from the Minutemen, trying to retain that possession for as long as they can. Again, another booming clear into the offensive side, and you just got to think that we're waiting for that moment when Middle Tennessee State are able to break out, get their offense going, and equalize. Puggett's a big bump out front. Max will have a clear. Flash, backboard. Logan's up for it. Vince will deal steadily. Big clear is out. Puggett's an early cutoff gets over Brawny, but it'll fall right back to Vince. Logan will take it off the backboard. But already almost 2 minutes gone here in game number 4, and UMass have looked great to start. I mean, got that first goal 2 seconds in off a kickoff. But the bigger thing is here, they're defending it well. I mean, they just conceded 5 goals last game and now have shut out MTSU through the first 2 minutes here. They can keep that kind of, if they can keep that up, they very well could extend this series to more. The Blue Raiders just looking to shut things down. Maybe a look here offensively. Logan is there, gets it around. Lacide Brawny. Back out Puggett's. He'll find himself one touch, but it's wide into the corner. Flash looking to be next on it. Outsped by Max. Vince looking to retake some control, but Logan, that's a booming clear. Did he catch the Minuteman out? Yes, he did. A booming clear from Logan. And you can see no one from UMass expecting that one bit. And suddenly, MTSU find one. And now UMass might just be in trouble. Max trying to keep things going off the kickoff. Flash over to Logan, intercepted well by Vince. It'll fall to Puggett's on the back end. Gets past one. Max, plenty of boost to work with. Ends up just booming it away. This could be dangerous for UMass. Logan, a great first touch, and the shot is there from Flash. My word, the Blue Raiders, they sense a moment of weakness, and they're right there. What a give and go. A beauty of a touch from Logan. And Flash able to take full advantage. It's 2-1, and UMass, their lead is gone, and their momentum seems to be gone as well. Now they are in deep trouble. The Blue Raiders picked up a lead and now looking to advance more. Puggett's, what a look here! That is a pass worth 10 cents, an absolute dime from Puggett's. The reset scoops it over, and Flash dunks his way through the defense. Middle Tennessee State up 3-1. Over Massachusetts, a double demo from Vince off the kickoff, and he's hunting for a third, and Puggett's, who will break free. Shot on target, just missed high. And UMass, they need to really will themselves back. And again, they look so good through the first 2 minutes. They allowed one mistake, one goal to sweep through, and that goal was all the Blue Raiders needed to reclaim control in this game. Puggett snaps it high. Max should have a touch of the corner. That he does. Logan looking for someone middle. No one there as Puggett and Flash all the way back, electing to play a little bit more safely here in game number 4. And why not? There's less than a minute 15. You have yourself a 2-goal lead, maybe 3 on account of Flash. No, what a save from Vince. Logan, slow touch trying to make the defense panic. UMass will stay in it, but what a stop there from Vince. Might have just kept UMass alive. Their offense has got to strike back, and they have not done well while they've been trailing this series. As again, when Middle Tennessee State seem to get out front, they seem to be unstoppable. Puggett's big save there. Brawny will get back in time of being hunted down by Blue Raiders. It goes middle. Logan is there, and that's gotta be the nail in the coffin. Logan eliminating all options as he slots it in the top right corner. It's 4-1 MTSU. And UMass just don't seem to know what hit them. Again, they were leading 1-0 for 2 full minutes, and then they give Middle Tennessee State 1 goal, and suddenly they're trailing by 3. And that has just got to be it. There is not enough time left here, so the clock will tick down. And that same clock marking the end of UMass's first championship tournament run. They'll get eliminated here by Middle Tennessee State, but the Blue Raiders move on to round 2, their first time in the CCS championships and their first victory. They'll move on in the Midwest to either take on Ball State Black or Villanova in round 2. Beautifully done by MTSU. I mean, you cannot get much better than that. This was full and complete domination from this UMass team. Again, really showing why they are the best of the best and proving that the Conference USA tournament was not a fluke by any margin. This team is legit, and this team is here to play. That being said, I appreciate you all for showing up. Again, this was the one match for this stream. We are going to be back in about an hour and a half with our next 2. You can see on the left side, Charlotte Central Michigan is going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern. We got South Carolina versus San Jose State at 11 Eastern. And then those last 3 on the bottom, those are the last 3 round of 64 matchups that we have before we move officially on to the round of 32. Ye frickin' hoss, says Puggett. GG's all around. Congratulations to MTSU on moving on. A dominant sweep over UMass. That being said, that's all I got for this stream. I appreciate everyone coming to hang out again. We'll be back live. Me and Commissioner Nation will be back in an hour and a half with Charlotte versus Central Michigan. I hope to see you there.